Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Jets Radio. And I fear this show tonight because this team has sunk to new lows. This is the worst team in football. This is rock bottom for the worst team in football. This is Team Chaos. The circus is back in town. We are at Talk Jets Radio on Instagram and Twitter. Let's Talk Jets Radio on YouTube. We have live streams on there. We're doing tons of content. Me and Primetime, videos almost every day. We live stream 1 hour after the game. We do a live stream the Monday after, 8 o'clock one. We're doing Friday night at 8 o'clock. If you want Jets content, we're giving you tons of it, uncensored, unfiltered, just from fans that are fucking tired of this goddamn team. So here we are, 2 non-competitive losses. The wheels are falling off the car. Like, this is just a complete dumpster fire, rock bottom, dude. Primetime, how are you tonight?
The New York Jets are truly the gift that keeps on giving. Just when I thought I was calming down after last night's show, you turn on WFAN and you listen to Avery Williamson, all but confirm everything that we've been saying over the last 48 hours. So let's have a show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you go from being non-competitive to the owner's obviously clueless. We've been over him for a couple of years now. The head coach is so far in over his head that he can't even explain his stupid play calling. Like, he embarrasses himself in press conferences. And then Primetime, not to say I told you so, but I told you so, where it was only a matter of time before the leaks start coming out. What was it? The players are late to practices. The practices aren't good. Yep. The finger pointing is going to start. Now you have McDougal, you have Jordan Jenkins, you have Avery Williamson. 3 guys. Dude, the ship is sinking at such a rapid pace right now. The only one that doesn't realize it is the owner. Because every prominent sports personality in the New York market, minus Boomer Esiason, knows that this team is going to – you have to fire Adam Gase as soon as possible to not only save, like, the direction of the season, which is already lost, to save your young quarterback. Like, what they're doing right now, you said it many times, is criminal. It's criminal. Like, it's ludicrous that we could even fathom 14 more games of this, let alone 1. So this is bad, dude. This is as bad as it gets. And the sad thing is, it's the same shit that happened in Miami, the same shit we warned everybody about, the same thing that we were called stupid and negative and ignorant. We kept saying, these are all red flags, these are all red flags. And then we heard what? We need continuity. Oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. It's blown up right in not Joe Douglas' face, right in Chris Johnson's face. And now here we are, a laughing stock of the NFL. Congratulations.
And you called all this on Sunday with the leaks and, players eventually starting to speak out. We knew it was going to happen. Even I didn't think it was going to happen this soon after week 2. Yet here we are, because the players see the exact same thing that we see, that they do not have a chance with this ownership group, or especially with this head coach trying to lead them. They are both clueless. They are in over their heads. They don't know anything about football. Yet we're supposed to take their word on football decisions. We know more about football than Christopher Johnson, yet he's trying to lecture us about this brilliant offensive mind that now everybody has thrown under the bus. Even his biggest supporters in the media, Costello, Cimini, Connor Hughes, all these guys that were trying to give him a pass last year, even they, 2 weeks. That's all it took, 2 weeks, and they're done already. So this is crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, Steve Young, Dan Orlovsky, Damian Woody, you name it, everybody, even Brian Boldinger. I mean, everybody, they have no allies right now. The only person doesn't realize is Chris Johnson. Like, it's laughable at this point. And it's like when you get to the point, like, dude, I keep referring to it. I was a season ticket holder in 1995 and 1996. I sat through the Rich Kotite shit. I sat through the home games. I sat through 8 home losses. This is worse than that, because you have a young quarterback that you're destroying at the same time. Like, Kotite didn't destroy a young quarterback. He destroyed a team. You're like destroying a young quarterback. Like, it's insane, man, that we're here. It's insane.
And that's why I can't give Joe Douglas a pass with all of this. I still think he's a good football dude, and he's going to get this thing eventually turned around when he finally wakes up and gets rid of Adam Gase. But for right now, all the offseason moves that he made, which we knew were not enough to surround Sam Darnold, they're all showing. And beyond that, he needs to be the one, and I said this last night, he needs to be the one to finally put his foot down and say, you know what, this shit is unacceptable. He is the one football guy that has a voice in that entire building. He needs to say something to Chris Johnson, to the media, put everybody on notice, because he's the only guy that can do it. He has to do it.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the fans right now have to do exactly what we're doing. Just all over social media, just blasting this fucking organization relentlessly. Like, I know it's supposed to be a protest. I don't give a shit about that. This is not about banners and billboards and planes. Just cover social media in this and put an enormous amount of pressure on this team because they're going to react to it. They have no choice now because it's obvious. This coach is in over his head. The team has quit on him. The team is questioning him. And furthermore, all this shit that Jamal Adams said, he may have went the wrong way about doing it, and he didn't handle himself very well. A lot of this shit he said on the way out the door, people are like, oh, he's just disgruntled, he's just being an asshole. Guess what? It's probably a good portion of it is probably true, Primetime. A good portion of it from nobody believed in the guy, problems in the locker room, the guy can't be trusted, the guy's never around, the guy doesn't do this. All these things he said is all coming to fruition.
I so desperately wanted to be wrong on Jamal Adams as that situation was going down. We had numerous shows well before the draft about, you know what, this is the one face to your franchise that has definitely earned a contract extension through his first 3 years. We've treated him like shit. He wants to be a part of a winning organization, so he deserved that contract if he was going to stay here. Yet he was willing to go to Seattle on the same exact rookie contract to get out of this mess. He saw everything that was going on, and he wanted no part of it, and I do not blame him one bit. He absolutely outperformed his contract. He exceeded expectations. And what do? We say, you know what? That's not a player that we want. He made other guys in that locker room uncomfortable because he tried to push them. He was a voice. He was that leader on that defense. He brought the energy. Look at the defense now. Arm tackles. They're not even practicing to win games, according to 3 players in that locker room. So that's what you traded away. That's the message that you're sending as far as the culture that you want to build here. Players like that come to win, that come to play hard every day, forget what he does on social media. Every Sunday, he fucking brings it. And that's the guy you trade away. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, the one thing is they were saying like, oh, well, nobody really supported him. Slowly but surely, the players that have left the Jets, class acts, very respected guys, classy people, dude. Kelvin Beachum, Brandon Shell, all these guys, all the little subtle comments on Instagram and shit like that, they're all enjoying this, dude. Like, they all knew. Like, a lot of these guys they left in a classy way. Like, you know what? Water under a bridge. I'm not going to go into that sewer pit that is the Jets and take parting shots my way out. You know, Quincy Nunley hinted towards some things. Like, everybody kind of hinted towards it, and now it's all being exposed, man. Every friggin' facet of it.
Kelvin Beachum, Brandon Shell, Osemele, Winters, Jarvis Harrison, Jamal Adams, all of them undefeated right now. So, again, we were putting blame on the players. Oh, Adam Gase doesn't have enough players. These are guys that you shipped out. Let's not forget Robbie Anderson, 2 100-yard games. All players that we shipped out that are now finding success elsewhere or a part of a winning team.
Yep. I mean, this is bad, dude. This is as bad as it gets, and there is only one answer here. There is only one solution, and it's very simple. Tomorrow morning, Chris Johnson's going to come out and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I'm going to own my mistake. I have to part ways with my head coach because he's destroying my organization. Not only is the quarterback being destroyed, the offense is going backwards. The team is quitting on you. You lost the locker room in 2 games, non-competitive games, where they came out of the locker room like zombies in the second game of the season after a week of being destroyed. Like, dude, you embarrass yourself. Dude, no, but you embarrass yourself against the Bills. That score should have been 50 to whatever. It should have been a ridiculous blowout. You get destroyed by the fans. You get destroyed by the media. The owner comes out and tries to rally the troops. They don't even come out on the field and perform, dude. 80-yard touchdown, untouched, first play of the game. That spoke volumes right there where you knew this team quit in the head coach. They don't care about the head coach. They're collecting paychecks, and that is it.
Problem is, I think Chris Johnson has a similar level of pride and ego to him as Adam Gase does. So for him to come out a week after, just giving him not even a vote of confidence, I mean, beyond that, calling the guy brilliant, I mean, he's not going to go back on that a week later, which is why I keep saying Joe Douglas has to be the one. It's not going to come from ownership. It's just not. Joe Douglas has to be the one to get in ownership's ear and force the issue, put everybody on notice, have a press conference tomorrow that this shit is unacceptable. Yep. If it goes on for another 2 weeks and there's not significant progress, you're out the door. And that goes for players too, coaches, everybody is on notice. That is what he needs to say tomorrow.
Well, that should have happened in his conference last week. Remember when I went nuts, dude? I heard his little press conference there. He had no stern tone, no mandates, no demands, just kind of like, yeah, I want everybody to get better. Like, no, drop the hammer, man. Like, put this, like I kept saying, you got to start cutting players. You got to start suspending players, fining players. You got to completely turn this locker room upside down. You have no other choice here. Like, this is it. Like, do they understand how bad this is really getting right now in 2 weeks?
I think they're starting to be honest. After week 1, I think it was easy to kind of, bring some excuses and say, oh, well, we didn't have a real training camp. We didn't, have any preseason games. It was just the first game. Well, no, this is, like you said before, this is Miami to a T. Everything that happened in Miami, as far as in-game adjustments, double-digit losses, players revolting and being unhappy, shipping star players out the door, every single thing, injuries as well, every single thing that happened in Miami is happening again here. Yeah,
and the one comment that I heard from Albert Breer today, I almost blew my lid, where they said Chris Johnson doesn't want to fire his coach because he doesn't want to pay him while he's not actually coaching. Well, here's a news flash. He's not coaching now. So cut your fucking losses. Like, you're worried about paying a guy that's not coaching? He's not coaching now. He's actually, you paying him to be fired and being somewhere else is actually going to help your organization. You're actually going to get some return from your investment then. Because you're getting nothing now. You're actually losing. Like, dude, I'm tired of the excuses. I'm tired of the excuses, dude. I'm tired of everybody justifying, well, we can't do this. If you're this poor as an organization, well, you can't afford to cut your coach and pay him for 2 more years, then get out of it. Sell the fucking team.
Dude, what's even crazier is that Adam Gase isn't even making significant money. I mean, he's not a prominent head coach.
No, because they're cheap. They don't pay their goddamn coaches.
He's probably honestly making the equivalent of what it would cost about 20 to 25 PSLs in the lower level. Yeah. I mean that's what we're talking about here, and we can't afford to get rid of that to hire a true head coach. That's what we're talking about.
All right, so we're gonna we got a ton of people on hold. We're gonna get everybody on as fast as we can. We're gonna bring on the third member of our team. I know he's chomping at the bit. Mr. Tyrone, how you doing, man?
Yo, I'm doing horrible. I'm a Jets fan, and you guys are making clear points, man, but the whole problem is this, man. I can't take 14 weeks of this, bro. I can't take 14 weeks of bad football, of uncoachable, unproductive, unwatchable football. And that's the product that we're putting out every single week, man. This guy needs to be gone ASAP. And if they don't fix this, man, it's just getting worse. I mean, you're watching the whole team just fold. San Francisco had like 5 of their best players out. Then you have 5 players getting hurt, and we still lost by 100. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. But this is the product that we put out. I don't care how many coaches you're paying. Get the right coach in. But this is the problem when they hire Gates. This is the same thing he did in Miami. It's the same thing he's doing here. He's alienating players, and Joe Douglas don't get a pass. The ownership don't get a pass. The fans don't get a pass. Nobody gets a pass in this, man, because this is ridiculous, man. That was awful football. It's the start of the season, and we're already done. You know what I'm saying? I did a poll today, man, and we finished 3rd and 13. Who should we take, man? Stop playing. This is our future, man. This is crazy. And you're ruining a good quarterback, and then the offensive line looks better, but Fant played well. Big man played well. Big Ticket played well. Other than that, man, it sucks. Sam has no receivers. Defense just looked at them just running around. Yo, the first play of the game, man, 90-yard touchdown, man. Stop playing, bro.
80.
It's horrible, man. I'm sick of this, man. It's disgusting. It's really bad football. And I'm tired of losing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not tired of being a Jet fan. I love being a Jet fan. But I can't watch 14 games of this, man. I cannot subject myself to that.
But see, Tyrone,
what up, Prime Time?
He's screening calls. We got a ton of people on hold right now. But the thing is, right now, it's like you could tell the players they're quitting on their coach. And first of all, the coach quit on himself because play calling quits on himself. He's not a winning coach. Doesn't have a winning mindset. He's not a leader of men, and it's not even close. But now the players, now the wheels are falling off the wagon. Now the players are starting to talk, and all his warts are getting exposed now. Everything that's going wrong in this facility is going to come out now. This is it. There's no turning back now, Gase. You've got to get rid of him.
But the problem is, Tyson, he's getting out coached every week. The players don't believe in this game plan. I mean, you knew in the first series, we know how this is gonna go. Ain't nothing
it was game over.
Exactly. So why not get rid of him? Make Greg Williams the head coach. Let Greg Williams bring these guys back to fruition, and let's finish the season strong. At least be competitive. At least give an effort. There's no effort there, man. It's horrible. It's really bad football, and this is what we were subjected to. So I mean, it's all around, man. It's an F across all boards. Everyone notices what's going on but our ownership. I'm sorry, man. And Joe Douglas being our GM, being a solid football mind, why aren't you speaking up? Why aren't you saying something? Why aren't you banging your head on the table, letting the fans know that, look, we got something to cheer for. There's nothing to cheer for, bro. When you think you're going to lose, and when you know the game is over in the first quarter, that's bad football. The first series, Tyson, I knew that it was over. There was no chance.
Dude, and the thing is this. It's like you look at the matchup, and the 49ers lost. The 49ers went into the game with a lot of injuries. Then they lost even more of their superstars. They lost Bosa. They lost Solomon Thomas. They lost their quarterback, their starting quarterback. The backup comes in, Nick Mullins, and he starts lighting us up because the team quit. There is no leadership. There's no accountability. Nobody cares on the field at all. This is a disgrace. Like, there's no justifying this. Like, I don't know how Adam Gase could walk in that facility and anybody even says hi to him. How does he even collect a paycheck this week? Like, bro, you know what? Take this one off. You just go home for a couple of days. We don't even want to see your face here because you're embarrassing us.
And the bad part is he has talented people in the building that can help him. Jim Bob Cooter is a really good offensive mind, and I'm pretty sure this prick is picking his own game. Listen, bro, I'm tired of watching this dumbass sit on the sidelines, on the bench, looking at that damn tablet, bro. I want to smack him in the face with it. It's horrible, man. This is what we were subjected to. I'm watching Sam each single week get worse. He played better this week, but Hogan's your number one receiver. This is ridiculous. Hearn drops a touchdown pass. I mean,
well, dude, the best thing is, but here's the problem. But here's the problem, Tyrone, and this is what drove me insane because this guy is supposed to be so brilliant. They ask him, and I'll give the media a lot of credit because they asked him very specific questions about play calling to put him on the spot. And they said, why don't you throw more downfield passes? Well, Perriman was out, but we were going to save them for later on in the game. When the fuck are you saving them for? Like, you have play action pass. If you're running the ball, like, dude, I'm a dumb fan. I sit and drink beer the entire game. I try to enjoy football. I'm like, hey, a play action pass would be smart here. You're running the ball. A play action pass would be smart here. How about one down the field pass? Because if you don't do that, the defense is going to start jumping your routes. They're going to start figuring out what you're doing. They asked him that. He's like, well, Perriman was out. So wait, so now your entire offense is predicated on one guy that can run downfield? You can't scheme nobody open? You can't throw a fade pass? You can't throw an out route? You can't do that? That's not your playbook because Perriman is out? And then they asked him about that 4th and 1 play, which is a fiasco. Can Sam audible out? No, he can only audible out certain plays. So what is it, like a if-then statement? Okay, Sam, if you see, like, Sam could legitimately see the defense that he wants to change a play on and not change it. But, dude, this is just you have so many levels of proof that he's hurting this quarterback. It's mind-numbing. Like, how does Chris Johnson sit there and watch these press conferences and be like, yep, that's my coach. I'm proud of this guy. That's my guy. How the fuck does he say that? There's no way you can do it, dude. And you're right. And you know what, dude? And Joe Douglas, and Kevin's right, too, and you're right. Joe Douglas has got to be like, dude, this house is on fire. We need a fire extinguisher here. Like, this isn't a little match. This is an inferno. Like,
bad
Joe
part
Douglas
is, man,
has got to
you got 8 people in the box, man. And you don't allow your quarterback to audible out there? You got 8 guys in the box. I mean, This is horrible, man. And, and I'm tired of people, like, making excuses. I'm sorry. If anybody calls this show that can defend Adam Gase, hang up on him, bro. It's a joke. It's a joke. This is a joke, man. We're the laughing stock of the league, bro. It's crazy, man.
But the thing is, but Joe Douglas is involved now. But Joe Douglas is a part of this stench now because right now, if you're a part of this organization and you're not making changes or you're not holding anybody accountable, you're part of the problem. So he's got to fix the problem. You're a general manager, dude. So you got to find ways to fix this roster or actually just question your coach. You have this high-level front office. You're like, Coach, what are you doing with this game plan? Like, I'm watching this quarterback go backwards. I'm watching Alec Ogletree, who's been on the team a week, he can't even run sideline to sideline, get dusted on the first play when you have Avery Williamson on the team. He was healthy. Like, what do we do? Like, Greg Williams doesn't get off here either, dude. Like, Greg Williams is not getting a pass for the defense we're watching because it's gross. And this isn't talent, It's effort. And it's effort, dude. And if you're not going to run to the ball, bench them. These guys aren't playing, dude. They're not playing at all. They're collecting paychecks because you know why? They're not scared to get benched. They're not scared to get cut. They're not scared of shit right now.
It's horrible, man. I mean, like, where's the pride at, man? At the end of the day, man, it's just bad football, man. And it's hard to watch this, man. Like, it's very unbelievable the product that we're seeing right now after all this time off and all this scheming. And, it's nothing. I mean, Berrios and Hogan. I didn't say I can't say anything else. There's nothing else to say. Frank Gore is getting 19 carries, bro. Like, P-Ron is getting 3. So, I mean, this makes sense to you? I mean, every
the
pass.
Fourth and one, the fourth and one, Frank Gore was actually running the ball pretty well. The fourth and one goes to Josh Adams. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I mean, Van Roten blew the block, but I'm like, the play call was just. And then in the 3rd and 9, like, can we stop playing for field goals? Like, that's the mindset of a losing head coach. He is so happy to get points on the board, he'll settle for 3 every time because he's scared to go for 7. Like, he doesn't want to fail. Dude, it drives me insane.
And then you run the ball on 4th and 1. You don't run behind the guy that's been pancaking guys all game long. You run behind the guy that's been getting the 2 guys that's been giving you the most problems. That makes no sense. Nah, it's horrible, man. It's really bad football. And this is what we're subjected to. And this is why we're on this show screaming and hollering, going crazy, because we had to watch this, man. And at some points, it was hard to watch. It was never a point where I felt like we could come back in this game and make a comeback. At no point of watching that game, I felt that way.
Nope.
Can I add one thing on the 2 4th down calls? I don't know if you guys mentioned this. I was just screening calls for a little bit. But Steve Young's comments today on the 4th and 1, he very specifically said, that's a play, or just speaking in general about being able to audible, that's how you empower your quarterback to trust what he sees. And he's never heard of a quarterback not being able to do that. So that was one thing. And then the 4th and 7, he laughed at the idea that you don't have a play call in your playbook to get a 4th down. And he talked about its perception, right? Getting the field goal, making it a closer game. But he also said the better perception would be going for it, showing your team that you're not scared, you're not afraid, and you're still trying to win the fucking game.
How can you win the game prime time with elementary play calling? I mean, listen, when you actually say you give Sam no power, if you have 8 people in the box and we still handing the ball off, man, that shit's retarded. I mean, that's like really, really bad football. You have a better offensive
line. But not even that, Tyrone. But their deep pass is a 1-yard pass behind the line of scrimmage. They don't air it out at all. Like, they don't throw the ball vertically at all. Like, people are criticizing Sam. Dude, he's got like handcuffs in this offense. Like, they're not letting him do certain things, and they're justifying it. Like, it's just premium showing how much this coach is holding back this quarterback. But Tyrone, we got to go to the calls, man, because we got a gazillion people on hold. And we're going to try to get everybody on as fast as we can, so be patient with us. We're going to go to Chad in Florida. Chad, what's up, man?
What's going on, Chad?
Dude, I'm literally at the point where I almost hate my team because of the ownership. Like, it is insane. Like, I don't know why people are saying to tank for Trevor when it's like, what is he supposed to do? Even especially in this offense. I'm not even mad at Adam Gase. I'm mad at the fucking ownership. Like, how are we going to go anywhere when we can't hire a head coach that's like Tyrone said, using elementary play calls? It's like, I can't stand it, man. Like, even if we had fans in the stadium, if 80% of that stadium was full of Niners fans, you know what Chris Johnson would look at? He would look like, I don't give a shit. You know what matters? They all bought a ticket, which means we made money. And I'm so tired of it, man. Like,
you're right, dude.
You guys do realize, like, I know we're the worst. Go ahead.
No, you're right, dude. That's the one thing. Like, no, you're right. That's the whole thing. Is like the stadium would have been probably 65% Niners fans, and Chris Johnson would be like, you know what? At least we're making money. That's all. For a long time they're making money, but now it's the shit's hitting the fan, man.
Exactly, and I'm so tired of hearing the rebuilding excuse. I'm like, dude, we've been rebuilding for the past 3 years at least. Okay, I know it's even longer than that, but I'm saying statistically the way our roster is. Okay, it's like, you want to know how a team rebuilds? And I'm not trying to kiss the Dolphins' ass, but dude, you guys do realize the Dolphins are going to blow us the fuck out this year. Like, it's not even going to be close.
Absolutely.
You want to know how you rebuild a team? You look at that team. Brian Flores has that team playing the way they should have been like 5 years ago. The amount of draft picks they had this past draft and the amount of draft picks they have for the next draft and the amount of cap space they have. And they beat the Patriots last year in their own goddamn stadium. Like, we can't beat a Niners. It wouldn't surprise me if LSU beat us. We're that bad. It's a joke, man. And I hear you guys talking about Greg Williams, and I agree, okay? But I think the reason why Marcus May and the reason the whole defense is playing so bad, because I think they're just giving up. They're just tired of seeing the same bullshit. Yep. It's like, I think Marcus May came into that game last week ready to light people up, and that's what they were doing. That game should have been 45-10. If it wasn't for the defense busting their ass the way they were, even though they weren't that good, they were still busting their ass and turning the ball over, trying to keep us in the game. And, dude, if Adam Gase, because you know how he is, if he starts bashing Greg Williams, dude, it's going to be a nuclear bomb go off because Greg Williams isn't going to put up with that shit.
Well, the problem is this with the defense, man. I mean, you're on the field 90% of the time.
Exactly.
Tyrone, hold on, dude. They didn't come out of the locker room on Sunday. The first play of the game, 80 yards untouched.
Listen,
they didn't
I'm
come to play.
I'm not defending them either. But if you know your game plan is bullshit, why come out and play hard? This is what happens, man. You know you're going to get out-coached every single time you step on the field. This is the product that we put out. This is how bad it is, bro. Listen, I'm not even being funny. There's no way of fixing this shit with him as your head coach. It's impossible, man. Listen, you know why I'm sick of a rebuild? Because these are the rebuild you show progress. We regress. How do you regress in a rebuild? On your third rebuild. In your third year. With your third head coach. Bullshit.
That might be the most factual statement I've ever heard in my lifetime. I'm not like seriously, man, I don't get it. I don't understand how you're supposed to improve your team with a whack-ass coach like that and whack-ass ownership. But you know what's going to be funny, though? The way the Jets are, we're going to lose Adam Gase. We're going to find a way to hire someone even worse, and then we'll end up missing Adam Gase just like we're missing Todd Bowles. You know? It's never ending, dude.
I don't think so, man.
It's never ending.
There's nothing. There's nothing worse than this. Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, Tyson, can I say one more thing, though?
Sure.
Hey, guys, guess what? We got them badass uniforms, though, right, man? Fuck this team.
Oh, my God. You got to love our new format, man. Our new format, man. If people haven't tuned in a while, they're probably like, this show has gone off the rails. What has happened to this? They used to be trying to be professional and family-oriented. Yeah, those times have changed. So, all right. We're going to go to Primetime. Are you okay over there?
I'm good, man. We've got a ton of calls on hold, so I'm just excited to hear what the fans have to say tonight.
All right. We're going to go to Dave in Richmond. Dave, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Dave?
Not much. Hey, Ty, you in Virginia, right? So I'm sure you went to the when they did the training camp with the Redskins and the Jets, right? You remember how excited we were as fans for our quarterback? And what happens in 3 years? We hire Adam Gase, and this guy is like trash all of a sudden. I mean, he's not trash, but the way they're calling plays, it just makes him look so subpar. I mean, Joe Burrow was out there balling, Kyler Murray's out there balling. These guys are out there putting up points, putting up yards, and our guys throwing screen patterns on 3rd and 9. It's ridiculous. And for the head coach, for to say, I can't find a play for 4th and 7 when the opposition can run a draw play for 3rd and 31. Get this guy out of here. It's ridiculous. I've been a fan for 30 years almost, and we're not going to win a game this year. The Colts are going to beat us. The Broncos are going to beat us. They just signed Bortles. They're going to beat us. Arizona's going to beat us. We're not winning the game. We're not winning the game all year.
Well, first of all, man, thank you for calling VA in the house, definitely, you know what I'm saying? But, right. We were all there. Primetime and Tyson was there, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
For watching that, man. But, I mean, bro, at the end of the day, man, when you don't have a head coach, this is what happens, man. And I blame ownership, man. You hired this guy to say he's an offensive genius, and I haven't seen nothing in 2 years. This is what we're stacking. This is what we're giving. This is the gift that we have that keeps like Primetime said, that keeps giving. You know what it gives you? High blood pressure and alcoholism. What this shit gives you, man. It's straight.
But Tyrone, it gets worse than that because we're talking about just the offense, and Sam, the entire team's not playing well. The game management is not good. The roster management is not good. Time management's not good. Like, as a head coach, he's failing.
Listen, I miss Todd Bowles so much. Even though Todd Bowles was lethargic on the sideline, he at least had his guys respect him, and they were going to play hard for him every day, every Sunday. Them guys went out there and played hard, and he didn't know anything. Look at him now; he's down there in Tampa, and he looks like they're calling him like the top 10 defense in the league or whatever. I don't know. What we got to do? Fire Adam Gase, and I don't know who's next. They say the enemy from Kansas City, he's not going to come here. Nobody's going to come here because of the ownership, guys.
I disagree with that. I completely disagree with that.
We have a head coach with no talent. That's the problem.
Well, yeah.
But Tyrone, but Dave, the thing is this: I don't buy the whole no coach will come here. You're going to have $30 million in cap space. You're going to have a top 3 pick. You have a young quarterback to work with. I mean, the only thing holding back a coach from coming here is the Jets actually paying him because they're cheap asses. Will they give somebody? Will they give a prominent head coach $10 million a year? They have never done it yet. Other than Parcells, they've always gone the cheap route.
And that was the last good coach we had. Well, Parcells was the last good one we had. Rex was okay, but I hear what you're saying. But hopefully we get somebody in here. So I say fire Adam Gase. When we lose to Indy, Indy is not even all that great. You know, they got Phillip Rivers. They got an okay offensive line, but that's just about it. Hooker's not playing. We should be able to at least move the ball on this team. If we don't score more than 20 points, I say get them out of here and let's go.
You know what it's going to take? It's going to take the Jets to lose to Blake Bortles on Thursday Night Football to get this clown fired. That's what it's going to take. That's what it's going to take. Watch.
And Tyson, that's going to happen. You know that, right?
Oh, I guarantee it. I've already booked that. I'm going to bet that game. Thanks for calling in, Dave. We appreciate it.
All right. You guys have a good
night,
one.
Man.
All right.
Tyrone, the minute the Broncos signed Blake Bortles, I'm like, yep, he's going to throw for about 280, 3 touchdowns, run for 1. It's going to be a laughing stock on Thursday Night Football for the Jets. You know it's coming, dude. You can see it coming already.
You remember what happened in Jacksonville? You know what he did in Jacksonville? What he had, 364. Listen, when Blake Bortles says, yo, why don't y'all stop the crossing pattern? That's when you know you suck. Listen, I'm sorry, bro. This is what the whole team is giving up, man. The only shining 2 points in this team right now is the fucking punter and our left tackle. I don't care everything else. Listen, if you watch the Quentin Williams interview, but if you watch his interview, what did he say? I got to watch the film. That's the Adam Gase answer. Listen, because they know people are getting sick of this. When you got nice guys, don't want to be nice no more. It's like when you're talking about the show. When the show went from, PG-13 to R-rated, you know what I'm saying? The Jets have made you not want to be nice anymore. You didn't want to be nice. You know what? You get an F-bomb in there every now and then. You know? It sucks, man. It sucks.
All right. We're going to go to our good friend Jay. Jay, what's up, man?
Jay,
tonight's Festivus. What up, Tyrone? What up, Ty? You guys are gonna love this call tonight, man, because I've been silent on this topic for a little while. But tonight's Festivus, man. We're gonna call tonight the airing of the grievances, because I got a lot to get off my chest tonight. All right, and we're gonna start off by with the "I told you so" session, because frankly, I mean, Chris Johnson, you're getting exactly what you deserve. Chris, I hope you're listening, or some of your PR guys are tuned in to what I'm about to say right now. Oh, they're definitely listening. Because last year, you used your media minions, who are now turning on you because it's the, trendy thing to do, to paint me as a attention-seeking jackass who was the leader of the lunatic fringe of Jet fans who have no patience and are just out there looking to promote their magazine and website. Well, you know what? I don't have a magazine. I don't have a website anymore, okay? But what I do have is the truth on my side. And I want to read two things real quick that I think that are relevant. I was looking at the GoFundMe that I set up last year, proactively to try and avoid this situation, because this was obvious. But there are two paragraphs that stand out to me in my head that I find to be really interesting. One paragraph is a quote from Chris Johnson about a year before he fired Mike McCagnon and Todd Bowles. he decided to go to the media and say, we are very happy to have extended, after he extended them both, we are very happy to have extended both Mike and Todd. During their time here, they've worked together to help the organization build a foundation on which to grow. They're identifying, developing, and getting productivity out of the players. I believe we're headed in the right direction. This provides us, here's the key word, continuity and stability as we continue to move this team towards sustained success. We still have a lot of work to do, and I'm excited to work closely with both of them as we move forward. A year later, he fired Todd Bowles, and then another few months later, he fired Mike Maccagnan, okay? Let me read you the last paragraph of the GoFundMe that I put together. The Jets are a sinking ship, and the Johnsons are the captains. The obvious result of today's disaster is another 6-10 or worse season in 2020, followed by another coaching staff reset that happened a year too late. That's what life is as a Jets fan, and until the Johnsons stop getting involved, things will never change. Dude, I am not some fortune teller with a crystal ball. I'm a fan, okay? That's all I am. I'm a Jets fan who's seen this same goddamn story year after year after year, and they don't get it. And you know what really irked me? What really pissed me off about Chris Johnson, I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys about this, about his little press conference where, again, he went in. This guy lacks so much self-awareness that his point that he brought up earlier in his press conference of, oh, well, my biggest problem was that I moved on Mike Maccagnan too late. I realize that now, and I wish I would have fired him earlier. He's making the same goddamn mistake with Adam Gase and doubling down on it. Literally, you didn't learn anything, you buffoon. You learned nothing from your previous actions, and you'll never learn anything because you're incompetent and because you surrounded yourself with yes men. Guys, I talk, you know I do. I'm not sitting here trying to pat myself on the back or trying to big-time anybody, but I talk behind the scenes in confidence with players, former players, agents, media members, all kinds of people, and I was there too for a little while in training camp and stuff. I developed a relationship with people. People trust me, okay? I didn't just go flying an airplane because I'm some attention-seeking jackass. I was trying to appeal any which way I could to avoid this very situation that was so plainly obvious to anybody with a set of eyes that was going to play out exactly as it did. Players hated him last year, okay? Players' families hated him last year, okay? And this was all about Chris Johnson stroking his ego, refusing to fold a losing hand. Standing up to the fans, I'm not going to be pushed around and told what to do. This was my call. I'm a rich billionaire. Nobody tells Chris Johnson what to do. And his little yes-men lackeys that surround him, his sycophant lawyers and people who bullshit him all day, telling him how to run a football organization that have no clue. And this is the result. This is where we're at. We are the laughing stock of the league. And we are in a situation now where this is worse than what Adam Gase left Miami. It's worse. This is worse than the Rich Kotite era because the Rich Kotite teams had some talent on them. So that when Bill Parcells stepped in, they were able to turn 1-15 and 9-7. You couldn't get Bill Parcells on this team next year to coach a team to 9-7 with what they have. Dude, there's nothing on this team. This team is stripped down to the studs. And they're losers, and they don't practice. Look at what Avery Williams is saying. You got guys all over the league ripping this coaching staff. They've been waiting for this. The floodgates are opening. Everybody's been waiting for this. Even the media clowns who called me a lunatic last year are jumping on board now. You got Brian Bassett posting a petition to get this man fired. When did that ever happen? So, listen, man, I hate to be the one to sit here and say I told you so, but for everybody out there that mocked me last year, that clowned me, that called me a fool and an idiot and a moron and continuity and all the other bullshit PR propaganda talking points, well, I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing now because you helped. But if everybody was steadfast behind it, if the media didn't assist them through it, if they covered the fan reaction, which was 95, if you look at the polls last year, 95% of Jet fans wanted this guy gone. And you know what? Exactly what I said would happen on the fan end, too. I told Chris Johnson. I told the Jets through public statements. What's going to happen? You know what happens? Anger and disgust of a coaching staff last year turns to apathy this year. So you know what? Look what happened to the ratings.
Nobody's watching.
Yep.
Nobody cares.
The Jets
It's
are
over.
irrelevant.
You trashed your franchise because of your arrogance and your and not doing what was the right thing. You made a mistake, you doubled down on it, and now you tripled down on it this year. And now you're really painting yourself into a corner because now, man, I wouldn't like to be Chris Johnson. Dude, Adam Gase is problem number 999,999 out of a million in this organization. He's a symptom of the problem. The real problem, the one who everyone needs to be going after and stop, I'm not putting any – people are coming to me trying to put billboards and planes up. What is that going to do? You do that, like I said, you don't do that now. You do that a year ago so you don't get to this point. Now it's the obvious thing. You're going to fire him. They can't bring him back for year 3. Who would go watch that product? It's over. So you might as well can him now, move on. I don't know what that solves, getting rid of him right now. I don't know that necessarily makes Sam Darnold any better this year, but
it holds
this is the mess you
accountable,
created.
dude. But Jay,
Right.
that my point is, you do it now to shake up the locker room. Like, all right, listen, this shit's going the wrong direction. We're not going to tolerate this anymore. You guys aren't practicing hard. You guys aren't performing on the field. You guys are quitting. You have a loser mindset. It changes today. Put everybody on notice. Put everybody on blast, and make the change. Period.
What did I say last year, Ty? I said you can fire this guy or you can suffer the consequences. It's not my organization. I'm just a fan. I'm telling you what 95% of the fans can see with their eyes. You want to make that decision, Chris Johnson? You want to bring this guy back? Well, then you have to live with it. You have to live with it, and you have to live with the consequences of it. It's your multi-billion-dollar organization that you are throwing into a dumpster. And you know what?
Yep.
Money was the NFL was printing money when a year ago, 2 years ago. Things done changed in this world, man. There's nobody in the stands. You look at you're lucky if you can get 5,000-6,000 fans in the stands because of COVID now. Who knows what happens after this? Dude, can you imagine being a Jets fan who sat this year out, right? And you're like, you know what? I'm not going back and paying $30,000 a year for season tickets for this mess. For what? For Sam Darnold? You're going to get rid of him? For what? If people got used to, they probably spent a couple bucks, hook up their home watching environment. You weren't getting good value for your season tickets anyway. Maybe a year away makes people realize that. I'm not flying up for every game anymore. No chance. And that piece of shit stadium ain't happening. I'm honestly, dude, guys, apathy has set in. It doesn't even bother me that much anymore like it did last year. That's the other reason why I got no interest in getting involved in any of these campaigns or petitions or anything. I don't care. They did it to themselves. I mean, I'll be back when the team is worthy of watching. What we watched on Sunday and last Sunday, that's not worthy of my time. It's not entertaining. It's not fun. You watch football to be entertained. The first damn play, 80 yards for a touchdown. There wasn't anything entertaining about that game. It made me angry. I don't have any time for it anymore, man. Bullshit.
Jay,
and they did it to themselves.
Good stuff as always, man. This is a phenomenal call. We appreciate you calling in, man.
Hey, man, I got to get it off my chest. So you guys enjoy. Yo, by the way, the video, the video. I can't wait for more videos. It's the most entertaining Jets-related product, including the games currently on on anything you can watch. It's fantastic viewing, and it helps me, get it out. I watch and I'm like, damn, those guys. I love listening to them because they're saying everything I'm thinking. So good work. Keep it up. Love you guys.
Thank you, Jay. Jay brought some complete, absolute fire to this one, Primetime. What do you think?
Man, every word he said was absolutely spot on. In particular, what he said about Chris Johnson's press conference, acknowledging that he made the mistake in firing Mike Maccagnan too late, yet right in front of his face, right now, he's doing the exact same thing with Adam Gase. It's just crazy.
All right, we're gonna stay at the busy phones. We're trying to get everybody on as fast as we possibly can here. We're gonna bring on a long time, one of my favorite callers, Mr. Greg from Massachusetts. What's up, man?
How you guys doing? Chad scared the shit out of me when he said we're gonna fire Gates and get somebody worse. And what the hell? Is that even possible? I mean, I was thinking, well, maybe you get a penalty in the first play of the game, a holding call in the first kick out. Been there, done that. Maybe you give up an 80-yard defensive touchdown in the first home game, first play. Been there, done that. Give up a running play up the middle, 3rd and 31 for a 55-yard run. I mean, how does it get? I mean, the one the one positive thing about Adam Gase is, if this isn't rock bottom, then we're going to make a discovery that the world has not seen before. This is just got to be rock bottom. They gave up another 67-yard run that was turned up, called back by a touchdown. They had a punt where it should have been stopped in the 6-inch line, and the special teams decided not to go downfield. And then it's 21-3 at halftime, and 37-year-old Frank Gore, the first two plays of the second half, when we got to make a comeback, running plays up the middle. It's just unbelievable to me how bad a coach he is. Unbelievable. And the thing that makes him worse, I think, than anybody else, if this were Rich Kotite, I honestly believe Rich Kotite would be sitting during the week trying to figure out how to get something out. He wouldn't be that arrogant. He'd be taking ideas and figuring out how to do better. This guy is not doing that. And I think the thing that pisses me off the most about this guy is this. In 2018 in the draft, we traded a crap load to get Sam Darnold. We traded 3 second-round picks to get him. And this guy comes in, and there's no offensive coordinator and that's worth the salt. There's no quarterback coach. A 22-year-old kid last year, 23-year-old kid this year, and he doesn't bring out in the best people he can to help him out. And we're going to squander Sam Darnold. And when I keep hearing this is an evaluation year, that's a friggin' joke. It's like saying, well, I'm going to evaluate a kid to see how good he is in math, and everybody else has a calculator and pen and paper, and you give this guy a crayon and napkin and say, hey, how you doing? We have no idea how good he is, except I think of the last 4 games under the Todd Bowles era. And by the way, David says he would love to have Todd Bowles back. Let's put the brakes on that. The last 4 games of the Todd Bowles era it was so encouraging. It was so encouraging. And then this clown comes, no quarterback coach, a horrible offensive coordinator, and just the worst offensive game plans I've ever seen. And he said he had a quote after the game saying they asked him why he ran on 3rd down and 4th down. He was going to pass to Perryman, but Perryman got hurt. So really Perryman gets hurt. Yep. Perryman probably has caught 2 passes this year, and that means you don't have any other pass plays in your playbook. Are you kidding me? Of course, when you look at these 4 receivers that we had, Hogan, Malone, Barrios, and Perryman, those aren't exactly the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. But at one point, those 2 guys were hurt, Hogan and Perryman, and the only healthy receivers on the team were Malone and Barrios. And I blame Joe Douglas in part for that.
Greg, and you've nailed everything, man. First of all, it's great to hear from you. But the other thing that bothers me about Adam Gase, minus him hurting Darnold, it's his game management. He settles for field goals. He's scared to throw the ball downfield. He's scared to throw the ball into the end zone. He's handcuffing it. Like, he's playing so scared to do anything other than kick field goals to just say he scored some points. That's all he's worried about. Like, we got 3 points here. We're not getting blown out, or we're still in the game. Like, he is so conservative. He's so scared. He's so in over his head right now. He can't even explain his own madness.
Right. He's got the conservatism of Todd Bowles without the imagination. What the hell kind of a combination is that? And then Greg Williams. Last year, I don't know if you guys recall, but there were 4 or 5 games where the defense couldn't make a stop for like 3 quarters of the first half. They couldn't make a stop. The 2 Patriot games, the Eagle game, the Browns game. They just got completely run over in the first half, and then the second half, the teams take the foot off the pedal. Well, the first two games here are unbelievable. In the first half, I think Buffalo had 5 drives. 3 of them were touchdowns, and the only other 2 that would have been, except Josh Allen coughed up the ball and fumbles. This week, with a depleted offense, a depleted defense, too, in San Francisco, I think they had 3 drives and they got 3 touchdowns. They can't make a stop. And they had a million third and longs. And what does San Francisco do? They throw the ball downfield. What do we do on 3 and long? We throw it behind the line of scrimmage. And you know, when I heard Sherman was out, I figured for sure they were going to take some shots downfield, just like everybody does when the other team's best cornerback is out. At the very least, you'll pick up a couple of pass interference plays maybe. But do we do any of that? No, but the other team does. I just can't take
I agree
it.
with you, man. Like, I agree with you. I have nothing. The 3rd and 31, it's the lack of effort, the lack of caring, the lack of passion, the lack of leadership, the lack of accountability. It's a bona fide mess, man. It doesn't. This is rock bottom for this organization. We say it every year, but this is really it, man. And there's no turning back to this guy now. You have to get rid of him as soon as possible. They have no choice.
The only good thing I can say is in the beginning of the year, you know, and you know what? I didn't think I was going to be this angry. I set my expectations below sea level, and I'm still bullshit. But you know, I never thought that he would be fired this year. Now I don't think there's any way he makes it through this year. I think 2 or 3 more games like this, he's gone, and they've got to. They're going to lose Sam Darnold. I am so worried about they're going to lose Sam Darnold, and not only that, they got a couple other good young players, Becton and Quinnen Williams, and you know they had what I think is a decent draft pick. I don't want those young players playing on this crappy team under this crappy coaching staff.
Greg, thank you so much for calling in, man. We really appreciate it. It's so great to hear from you.
It's a pleasure. This is the best thing for my mental health. I'm going to hang up and listen to you guys continue to rant and rave. I love it. Just tell me one thing, please. Tell me it's not possible our next coach will be worse than Adam Gase. That I couldn't hear.
Can't be.
Have a good night, man.
Take care. Goodbye.
Good talking to you, man.
So
man, these callers
guys,
have been phenomenal, dude. Oh my God.
Oh, it's been great. We get Tyrone back on here. For all you guys listening, if it's your first time listening to us, we are on YouTube. Let's Talk Jets Radio. We have a live stream 1 hour after the game. We do a live stream the day after the game, Monday night at 8 o'clock. We do Friday night at 8 o'clock. We do the preview show. Tonight we do a show, obviously. We're all over the place. Instagram and Twitter at Talk Jets Radio. And I hope you guys enjoy it. As you can tell, we're not a family-oriented show. Things have changed around here. We really don't give a shit anymore. We've just given up. So we're just going to bring Tyrone back on, and we're going to go to – I missed the thing. Where is it? I believe it was Larry in Harlem. I think I had to hit it. I hit the wrong button. There he is, right here. Larry in Harlem. My bad. Hit the wrong button. Larry, what's up, man?
How you guys doing? I'm a first time caller. I follow you on social media, so thank you for all that you do for us frustrated Jets fans.
Appreciate that, man.
We're trying.
So a couple of quick thoughts. The first thought is, I look at Adam Gase's offense and I say, what is the identity of this offense? This is a question I've been asking since last year. Is it smash mouth? Is it throw to the wide? You know, is it spread wide? And part of the reason that we're seeing this, and I agree with everything the other callers say, is that Adam Gase, snake oil salesman, alive. Christopher Johnson got duped. He got sold a bill of goods, and this guy just basically, duped his way into a head coaching position. And I've never seen anything like it. You don't see any movement from his line. And, the saddest part of this, again, as other callers have said, is Sam Darnold. Because you see flashes from Sam Darnold that if given the time and if given some basic level talent, the kid can make all the throws. What needs to happen now is Christopher Johnson needs to cut his losses and say, I made a mistake. I'm handing the football reins over to Joe Douglas. I think Joe Douglas hit a home run with Mekhi Becton, and Mekhi Becton should be the attitude of the team. I don't know if you guys saw the clip where he pancakes one of the 49ers defensive linemen and then turns to the sideline
as if he's yelling at them. Why? I don't get why that's not the identity of this team. But instead, we spread it out, 5 wide, 3rd and 8, bubble screen. And the reason that's happening is because the offensive genius has nothing else to do.
Number one, he's not a. Number, hold on, bro. I didn't mean to pardon your wisdom. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
that's
the
all right,
problem
my brother.
is this: he doesn't attack down the field. All he does is go with these fake ass wide receiver screens and try to run the ball up the middle with his 8 in the box. This is why we've been, like you said, we've been sold bad goods. We've been sold a bad coach. You're trying to sell this and explain this to us that he's good. Go ahead.
Guys, I'm a season ticket holder. I bought into this team under Todd Bowles. I'm thinking, okay, you know what? You made a good investment. You bought low. Eventually it'll get high, you know. And this is the lowest point, the most – this is I've never been as non-optimistic about a situation. And what needs to come out of this organization right now is some definitive statements. The first definitive statement is Sam Darnold is our quarterback now and in the future. So if the Jets wind up with the number 1 pick, in my opinion, because the Trevor Lawrence stuff cannot continue all year, and then the Jets not deal with it. Because the first question is going to be Adam Gase for 13 more weeks, and then the next question is going to be Sam Darnold for 13 more weeks. The kid's confidence is going to be shot, and we're going to be looking at another 5-year rebuild. If I'm the Jets, I say Sam Darnold is our future. We have to surround him with talent, and we have to develop him. Get Adam Gase out of here. And my other question to you guys is, why isn't Christopher Johnson going to Adam Gase or Joe Douglas and saying, guys, if the offense continues to be ranked 31st, give up play calling duties? Will you give up play calling duties and run the team? And if he says no, get him out of there. This guy,
but Larry, but you can't even do that, dude. Larry, like this is a sinking ship. So let's not put a Band-Aid on it. Let's just change everything here. Like
I agree with you.
You got to get Adam Gase out of the building. Adam Gase got to go like tomorrow.
I agree with you, but what I'm doing is I'm giving you a quick out because this guy thinks he knows it all. He's never wrong, so he will never give up play calling duties. He'll quit because he's a control freak. When you see a guy and you say, would you change anything about what happened? And he says no. If that guy makes that block, we get a first down. That is the sign of a guy that cannot admit when they're wrong. If he would have stood up there and said, you know what, this is bullshit and it starts with me. I have to be better and I'm going to hold everybody accountable. That's not acceptable. If he would have said that, I would have given him just a tad bit more respect. But for everything that goes wrong, it's always somebody else's fault. He had all the perfect plays against Buffalo. He had he called the perfect play on 4th and 1. He's never wrong. And that right there is the sign of a weak and insecure man. And you ask this weak and insecure man to lead a team of 52 individuals, they smell right through it. And everybody smells right through it right now, except the one man that could change it, and it's Christopher Johnson. And it is so frustrating and disappointing. I've never seen anything like it. That guy will never – so to my point, he'll never give up play calling duties. And what the Jets should do is get through this year and hope that you end up with the first draft pick, trade out of it for a haul that sets this team up for the next 5 years with draft picks. Do what Dallas did when Dallas traded, I believe it was Herschel Walker.
Yep.
I think it was Herschel Walker. When Dallas traded Herschel Walker and built that dynasty, it started with that trade. That's how it started. But, I have some faith in Joe Douglas. I have no faith at all. And I'm losing faith in Christopher Johnson because he's not seeing what everybody else saw.
Larry, this is a phenomenal call, man. Thank you so much for calling. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Bro. Great call,
have a
good
night.
Have been wonderful tonight, man. That was dead on, bro. Like, you can't even ask a question.
Hey, sometimes questions aren't warranted, man. Sometimes let it fly, man. We don't need questions. Let them just roll. I don't care. We got plenty of time here, so we're gonna go to Mike in Jersey City. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you feeling, man?
Jet fan.
I'm all right. I'm good.
Mike is depressed already, man. Shit.
No, but it's like, what Tyson said it the best. Like, I just feel like at least the past 3 years especially, and this year definitely. It's just like every Sunday. It's not fun anymore. It's actually the exact opposite. It's kind of just it's like doom and gloom, and we're it's like we want to be excited, but you truly cannot be excited because your team is such a joke, and it is truly an insult to call this an NFL team when there's actual teams that practice every day, that have a good sense of camaraderie. I mean, if you guys saw the Bollinger breakdown last week when Mekhi Becton got all happy when Bell went into the end zone, he was the only one happy on the field. It's just like it's what is like we keep saying Gase has just completely broke down this team, and I guess I'm calling because I want to understand, and I want to pick your brains about. So last year we saw a surgence in Ryan Griffin. Okay, where the fuck has he been? Like I don't understand. Like this is how you can just flat out say he's just a god awful coach. Like he had something working last year. Literally, it was working, and we haven't seen him at all. Why in a situation right now when Jamison Crowder is injured, and you basically kicked off Robbie Anderson? That was a bad idea, of course. But it's like, especially now, Hernandez and Griffin should be we should have a two tight end set, okay? Option routes, wishbone, T formation. I don't care what you want to call it. It should be every freaking snap. Like I don't understand it. Okay, so Ryan Griffin can't block well. I don't care. He seemed like a pretty sure-handed guy last year. He had chemistry with Sam Darnold. I just feel like I'm just kind of like looking at film of other teams like the Vikings and the plays they call or whatever. I just feel like if we incorporated 50% of like other people's playbooks, this team wouldn't be nearly half as bad, or at least we'd be in a fight, not just looking like an easy loss.
Mike, but you know what
everyone in
Mike, what it is? Right now, you watch the Jets play, which is a miserable experience, probably the worst experience on a Sunday, and you watch the rest of the NFL play. It's like watching a whole different ballgame. It's like a different league. Like, are the Jets even in the NFL? They look old, they look antiquated, they look slow, they look lost, and everybody else is flying high. Like, there's quarterbacks like the kid from San Diego. He came and started.
Yeah, oh my God, Justin Herbert. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I'm sitting here and I'm like, this kid's already looking better than Darnold.
Look at Gardner Minshew. Look at all these guys. They're like Joe Burrow. All these guys are all coming out, throw the ball over the field, making plays, exciting, competitive football. The Jets are quitting, man. They're not even showing up on Sundays.
Well,
right, and so I guess –
hold on. But they're doing – listen, this is my whole point right here. Look at Miami. Look at Jacksonville. These teams, they sold all their best players, and they're still putting up a productive product out there.
Look at tell us how different our situation is from Jacksonville. They shipped off Jalen Ramsey. We shipped off Jamal Adams. There was trouble in the locker room. This was trouble here. And look at them. They haven't figured out. We don't. Like, it's the same situation.
Competent coach.
Like,
this is the problem.
So hold on.
Our
Mike,
issue.
But dude, not even. But you don't even have to go that far. Look at the 49ers. What they came into MetLife Stadium with. Who they lost during the game, including their starting quarterback, their best pass rusher, all these things, and they were still blowing us out. They were like a third of what they could have been, and they blew us out. The backup quarterback was lighting us up. Give me a break, dude. It's embarrassing.
I mean, it's just. I guess I'm just like so. And as the other callers were saying, and you have to. We honestly have. There's just no possible way. Chris Johnson can come out and double down, and if he wants to look like he wasn't wrong, that's all well and good. But you look at the schedule, and you're just like, yeah, Denver just signed Blake Bortles, but I'd still even say that's our legit only chance of winning a game this season. You look at everyone else, we're not going to beat Buffalo again. We're not going to beat Fitzpatrick and the Dolphins. We're, Chargers, Chiefs. Like, oh my God, we're going to get blown out by every other.
If that Buffalo game was on a Sunday, I give us a chance. That game's on a Thursday. You have a coach that can't prepare a team in a whole solid week. what the fuck is he going to do in 3 days? This is the problem.
Yeah.
Listen, everyone understands this, man. We have no coaching. And this is why I don't understand this organization is you keep telling us to be patient. You keep telling us to wait. But I'm watching other teams who have less do more. And I'm watching a quarterback that I thought was going to be my future who's lost, who has no help. His best receiver is fucking Hogan and Barrios.
No, honestly, like I truly would love one of the players to just come out and just spill the beans and just completely go revenge, just absolute, like, I don't know.
They're starting.
They're
already starting.
But who's vocal about it? Like Jordan Jenkins, where are you?
They did. Jordan Jenkins, Bradley McDougald, Avery Williamson today. It's all starting to come out, man. All the warts are being exposed now. So do you think he gets tossed in the season, or are we waiting till next season? Yeah.
I can't believe that it won't happen.
There's no way. There's no way. If they keep playing like this and they're not showing up week in, week out, there's no way he lasts the full season. You do it at the bye, they'll find out. There's no way he makes it another 14 games. It's impossible.
So then Greg Williams gets interim?
Sure, why not?
I have to assume just because Loggins is chained by the leash to Gase, he's also out once he's gone. You think Greg wants to keep a little food cup like that around?
Big fucking Loggins, bro. I'm not watching day another game.
Like I can't
believe that.
Like
no, bro. Hell no.
Loggins isn't even a water boy on like my high school fucking team. Like fuck.
No, but it's just fun. But listen, what you were saying, man, is what everyone is reiterating, man. It's like it's so hard to watch this, man. Like I'm telling you, within 3 minutes of the game, bro, I threw my phone across the room. Like this is the kind of example that we have.
As Larry said from Harlem, like he's a great auto salesman. So I truly would love to get like a hot mic into the interview process when guys like these sit down with Chris Johnson. Like, does Chris Johnson just like come in? Oh yeah, I just came from Miami. How you doing? Oh, you got the job. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean,
what the fuck is it? Like, look at the Do they not look at the resume? Do they not look at the credentials?
But Mike, I don't understand. Not even that, dude. No, you make the mistake of hiring him. But at some point, you quickly realize it. Like when you see the team mailing it in, you see all the problems, you see the quarterback, you see it all. At some point, you realize you've made a mistake and you correct it. You don't double down and make it 10 times worse and set your organization back even further. And that's what Chris Johnson's got to stop being so arrogant, stop being so stubborn, get off his ass and make a change. Because you're destroying everything. Dave, every day he's here, it's getting worse. So the longer you wait, the worse it gets. It's that simple. But, Mike, we got to let you go, man. We got a ton of people on hold.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for calling.
All right.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys. Take care.
Have a good night, bro. Have a good night.
Yeah, we got so many people on hold. We're trying our best to get everybody on as fast as possible. We got this next guy's a celebrity caller now. Dan in Howard Beach. Dan, what's up, man?
What's going on, Dan?
I'm still trying to process that reverse, that he used the slowest remaining receiver possible for that reverse. He took that out of the hat and said, this is what I'm doing. Malone is one of the slowest receivers that we have. It seemed like he was running in place. He looked like a Madden glitch. That's what he looked like. At least use Barrios on that.
He called it in garbage time.
Oh, all the time.
When the game matters. Clown.
All the time. And that's what pissed me off the most is that before the game started, you knew that our receiving core was depleted. You knew the history of the injury bug with Perriman. And you still bring just 4 receivers, not 5. You really wanted to bring Balaj in there, who's garbage, who's completely trash. Like the guy failed his medical,
physical.
For that trade, yep. And they still went to get him after they released him. Like, where's this whole thought process? But again, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and I'm numb to it. I am so numb.
You're
like,
not
it doesn't
numb.
even hurt
You're not
anymore.
numb, dude. You're not numb, dude. I watch you on Twitter, dude. You are ranting and raving, and you're pissed off. You can say you're numb. You're just as angry as the rest of us, man. I'm not buying your bullshit right now.
You know that. You know that. It sucks, dude. It is the worst feeling because you wait all year for this. And like you were saying, and I was thinking all year. And like you were saying, obviously, if we lose to the Broncos and we're 0-4, because we're not winning this week. Like I hate it when people are like, oh, the Colts aren't that bad. Who the fuck are we to start saying that other teams aren't, quote-unquote, that bad? We are worse than bad. Like, not for nothing, if we lose that game and Gase is still the head coach, then that's it. Mail it in as a Jet fan and say, you know what? I got to find other things to do on a Sunday. I have to, because he's gonna ride it out. He's going to ride it out. Just like when Bowles got destroyed by the Bills at home with a backup quarterback. That was the point to fire Bowles, but he let it all ride out. Honestly, where the hell is Woody Johnson in all this? Like, that's his investment. It's not Chris Johnson's investment. Where's Woody? Where, in Britain? He doesn't care. He has to face the music sooner or later. At least make some sort of an announcement. Face the music. But you know what?
Why he not here?
Mm-hmm.
Why ain't nobody making a statement of how bad that shit was yesterday? Why haven't seen nothing about?
Because they made a statement last week. That's why.
And the players coming out telling the truth, man, about what's really going on. It's straight bullshit.
It's going to get worse. The players are going to come out. They're all coming out. They started to come out. They start creeping out. And you see that from the beginning of the whistle blown, they give up. And, a lot of people say, even me, I'm like, oh, what the hell is the defense? What's the whole Greg Williams thing? I think the majority of the holdovers of the defensive players, they saw what happened at the end of the year. Gase got all the glory, and he took it. Yep. Gase is like, we ended up 6-2. We kind of of course, Greg Williams, number one, led those 6-2 because without Greg Williams, you would see the products that you're seeing these past 2 weeks. It deflates even the coaches around Adam Gase, and the players feel it. The players are even saying that the practices, it's not even like a winning mentality practice, and that's where it all stems right there.
But if you watch the games though, you're watching an Adam Gase coach team. You know what I'm saying? You're watching a team that doesn't come out with any kind of fire at all.
None, because that's who Gase is. Look at I keep going at it, and it's true. Tannehill is just week after week after week, and we saw it with Darnold when he throws vertical, at least 5-yard ins or like a 10-yard post, something down the field, but it's always a hitch, a fucking screen. It's like, come on, enough is enough, man. When is this gonna happen, man? Like, honestly, I keep looking at Twitter to say breaking news: Gase is gone. It's not happening. It's not happening soon enough. Like, I want to see Cooter as an offensive coordinator. I want to see him. I want to see what he has.
Yep, can't hurt, dude. Dan, thank you so much for calling it, man. We appreciate it.
All right, fellas, have a great one.
Have a good show. Have a good show, Dan. Good night.
So, prime time. I mean, you're before we get back to the callers, your thoughts on our new format. Do you think it's working out for us or not?
This is, like you said a few weeks ago, this is exactly why we did it, for moments like this where fans needed to genuinely vent and not hold back, no family show bullshit. This is what we did it for.
This is raw and real tonight, boy. This is just some crazy shit right here.
This has actually been one of my favorite shows, man. Like, for real. Like, I really enjoyed this today because everyone that came on tonight has made valid and great points, man. And it's just, like as a fan, and we all are fans, man. You're just tired of this shit show. You're tired of losing. You're tired of the loser mentality. And then you watch. Listen, I don't care what anybody say. I watched some shits from last year before I watch what I'm watching right now, and that's bad, bro. Them first 4 or 5 games when Sam was out, I watched those.
Yeah, but I'm just tired of being embarrassed, dude. Like, I'm tired of being embarrassed to be a Jets fan. I'm tired of excuses. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of all of this. Like, we knew this was gonna come. Like, this is all so predictable. And it's like your head is down. You don't want to wear your Jets T-shirt. You're like, Jesus Christ. And I'm to the point now where I can't wait for the game to be over so I can watch other games that are a lot more competitive and a lot more exciting. So the team's a joke. Like, there's no identity. There's nothing. There's not one thing to be excited about other than Becton and Quentin Williams. And hopefully Sam can survive. Because right now there's nothing to work with. You have nothing on offense to work with. And what little they do have, they don't use anyway. So it's just a miserable.
It's horrible.
Dude, think about this. It's weeks. We're going into week 3. We're talking about draft picks. We're talking about next coach in week 3. Like, this is shit, dude.
And the bad part is, Tyson, what hurts me more than anything, man, is watching this, man. Like, I'm serious, man.
That's
really
terrible.
watched this game with purity disgust, man. I mean, it was disgusting. And, you know, and it's like I'm sitting there, like, looking on Twitter, you're going crazy, Primetime going crazy. Everybody just got something to say because everybody's watching this shit show. And it's funny, like, how can you be an owner and have pride in this? Give us a better product. And this is the bad part, man. We have one of the best fan bases in football. And this is what you give us. This is crazy to me, man.
You know what play? If I was the owner of the Jets, which will never happen because this is never going to happen, but that 3rd and 31 play, I would have. The minute that play was over, I would have walked over to the coach like, you're fired. You're fired right now. Like, you're not even allowed to take the bus home to go back to Florham Park. Like, you're out. Just go home. We'll mail you your shit. We're done. When you give up a 3rd and 31, like, that's it. Like, we're just, your ship is sailed. Obviously not going to work out. We're sorry. You're out. Done.
This is what we got to deal with, man. This is the product we have, man. This is crazy.
The 3rd and 31 is just it's a smaller symptom to the bigger problem, which is everything that every single caller has brought up tonight. And the thing that pisses me off the most is what you're doing to Sam Darnold. I mean, that's the one aspect of all of this that pisses me off beyond anything else, is that we finally have this young quarterback that every other team in the league wanted, and we have not done one thing right by him. It is just total negligence, man.
Absolutely, and it's prime time, and it's an every week thing. I mean, like, you're not excited about the Colts game. You're not excited about the Denver game.
No,
it's not a fucking game I'm excited about. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a scrimmage, bro. Like we're scrimmaging right now.
You can't even get excited about the Denver game, because even if they win that game against a backup quarterback, it's just going to be a press conference of Gase saying, "Yep, see, I told you so. We just had to execute the right way, and this is what we're capable of. This is our potential." Bullshit, dude. Like, it's always going to be something, dude. And it's always going to be him trying to tout that his shit is right.
Oh, and then the bad part is, man, how are you throwing Sam under the bus like Sam and making wrong decisions when you're the fucking play caller? You're the guy calling the plays, and
dude,
you're saying
he will never take
I called the right play.
Anything.
This is
never
crazy to me, man. It's crazy how our ownership is this fucking dumb. Like, you cannot be this stupid, man. Impossible to be this fucking dumb. And yet still
all right, so we're gonna
talking about the Jets.
We're gonna go back to the callers. We're gonna go down to one of your neighbors, man. This is one of your guys, Mr. Ryan Barger. What is up, my friend?
What's going on, guys?
Nah.
What's up, man?
The guy is on.
I told you I'd eventually get back on.
What's going on, bro?
You picked a good night.
Yeah. Dude, I am still fucking livid from that damn tweet that guy sent earlier about the whole deal with Johnson not wanting to pay Gase. That set me off. I just couldn't believe that. Yeah, I can't let it go. Like, I'm at the point where I have a common theme of, for everybody across the board in the organization, and in my opinion, they need to implement a new culture of, they either need to shit or get off the pot. Everybody.
Yep.
Every single one of them. Everybody needs to be held accountable. What blows my fucking mind is, what is Johnson's metrics that he's using to gauge Gase's progress? You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, I understand that he threw a no playoff mandate on him, but at what point? Like, what is it exactly that's fitting in your metrics? I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I understand you're the owner, but who the fuck are you? Like, you're not even a football guy. So what is it exactly that's being checked off on your sheet that is allowing him to stay for as long as he has? Because in my opinion, I agree with you. He either needs to be gone tonight or he needs to be gone tomorrow. Shit, I'll even fucking drive up to New York and pack the dude's bag myself right now. I have no problem. Tyrone, I'll come and I'll swing by. Meet me up in Richmond, and we'll go up there and we'll go pack the dude's bag for him.
Hey, listen, bro. You already know I'm ready, man. This is number one, man. I'm glad you called, bro. Like, yo, this is my guy right here. I love this guy, man. I love his wife, man. This guy right here is truly a class act, man. And everyone feels the same way, man. You're just tired of this, man. Like, watching this team and watching this team regress and having no hope in your season. This is fucking week 2. This is week 2, man, and we're done. Like, this is crazy. This is week 2, and our season is over, bro. Talking about draft
because we're
week 2.
Yeah, because we're looking at the whole picture, and that's not what they're looking at. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to look at it as, like you said, preaching patience, and I mean that shit is done for us. Again, he's already had a year plus some to get some life out of this team, and to allow this to keep being what is the product put out on the field is embarrassing. And I mean, even from a business standpoint, like, dude, you can't tell me that you can't look at it and see that this is not a successful business model at all.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't justify that shit.
Right. There's nowhere they can't hide. Nowhere on social media, nowhere on TV, nowhere on radio, nowhere. They're getting pounded by every aspect of every part of the sports world, telling them how bad their head coach is, how non-competitive they are, and how embarrassing and pathetic this is. There's nowhere to hide,
exactly.
Dude. They're going to try to hide. They're going to try to sell us bullshit. Nobody's buying it. They've been exposed. The owner's exposed. The general manager exposed. Gase is exposed.
And what makes it even worse is he can stop it at any given time that he wants. And he chooses not to. And, I mean, Douglas is a part of it. I mean, he needs to nut up or shut up. That's one of those deals of it. I agree. They need to be bringing people in every single day. It was a fucking joke. I just saw before even me calling in. What did they do today? They just added, 3 people to the practice squad? That's it. And it's
2
linebackers.
And 1 offensive lineman. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Not even a wide receiver? No, nothing? Oh, because we're set on that position. That's right.
And how do you expect
may as well
Sam
go
to
ahead
get
and
better?
start getting them their gold jackets sized up, you know?
And how do you expect Sam? How do you expect Sam to get better when every week he's throwing to another fucking receiver? He has a different receiver every single week, man. He has not. This is week 2, and we're talking about this right now, man. It's like I said, it's just getting worse and worse, man. It's hard to watch, man. It's hard to believe in a team that keeps letting you down, man. How long can you love something before it starts loving you back, man? Damn, bro, this sucks.
And everybody needs to be put on notice. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody should be safe in the bit, whether that be the GM. Granted, the coach is already a lost cause anyway. He needs to go. But it even goes to the players. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I fully understand that the situation that they're in is shitty, and I understand that a lot of times that may make a player want to lose motivation to want to play. But at the same time, like, they still have to look at it as there's a lot of those dudes that are on 1-year contracts. So they need to still be playing their ass off, because what happens if the coaches change and shit? You're not guaranteed a spot back on this team next year. You're playing for another fucking team, maybe. So, I mean, like...
This is it, though. This is the exact point right here. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, do you think if Bill Parcells was in this organization right now, he would tolerate Alec Ogletree doing the shit he did, Pierre Desir lazy doing all this shit he's doing? These guys would be gone. They would have been gone. Every day in that locker room. Like, dude, they would be like, you're cut, you're not playing, you're benched, you're inactive. There's no sense of urgency. There's no sense of accountability. Nobody's scared for their job. Nobody's scared for their paycheck. Nobody's scared, dude. And Joe Douglas is guilty by association because he's watching it all happen. Like, somebody's got to get the bull by the horns. Like, listen, this has got to fucking change here, man. Because we're all sinking here.
Yeah. And one of the other things that I see too is if the players if the vast majority of the players are that pissed off, then fucking stand up. Like, band together as a team and go to Joe Douglas and Chris Johnson and be like, this shit has to stop. Gase can't fucking bench them all. He can't he can't find everybody. Like, at some point, like, it's going to be, hey, you don't cite. It almost reminded me of Varsity Blues. Granted, it wasn't them getting a shot in their knee, but it's, hey, you either do this or you find yourself another fucking quarterback. You do this, you find yourself another linebacker. You do this, and if everybody banded together to did that shit, they would make it fucking happen. Like, quit with the leaks and shit. Like, if everybody's done, then you're fucking done.
Ryan, thank you so much for calling tonight, man. This is your best call ever. This is my favorite show ever. I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite show of all time. But thank you for calling, man.
Ryan,
we appreciate it.
Hey, do me one favor, man. Give your wife a hug for me. Love you, bro. And I'll talk to you this week, all right?
All right, man. Talk to you later. Thanks, guys, for having me.
All right, bro.
Good talking to you, man. My God.
This show is just legendary, man. This is just absolutely crazy. Absolute craziness. So,
man,
we're going to keep going.
When you put a product out like what we put out the last 2 weeks, bro, every show might be like this for the rest of the year, bro.
I can't take it.
15 weeks.
Yeah, my poor liver's killing me, dude. Like, it's just, we're gonna go to we got Mr. Oh, here comes Mr. Grim Reaper himself. Here comes Shaq.
Shaq,
what's up, Shaq?
I knew it.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know me very well. You know me very well. Oh man, I hear the show and I know what Adam Gase is. He's terrible. We all hate Christopher Johnson. But why do I feel like we're leaving a few guys out? Why? Why is Joe Douglas left out? Why is Greg Williams left out? I've seen a lot of terribleness in all phases of the game Sunday. Talent, which is Joe Douglas. Play calling, which is on Greg Williams and Adam Gase. I like what I didn't understand was it was a one-legged quarterback beating us. You don't blitz him. And then on offense, you run the ball with a 37-year-old 21 times. But Le'Veon gets 5 touches a game when he's out there. Like, I'm trying to figure this shit out. I'm trying to like, you know what this reminds me of? Like, this reminds me of the John Izek era. You remember that? That year we was just bearing of talent. We traded Revis away. Well, at least John Izek was smart enough to trade Revis away before the draft instead of after the draft. That's another subject for another day.
This offseason, though, definitely resembles that last Idzik offseason where he had resources to spend, didn't use them, thought he was going to get another offseason to be able to do it. Granted, Douglas will get the chance to, spend this money in the future, but it was almost like he didn't believe in Rex, so he kind of left him out there to dry. The same way it kind of looks like Douglas is leaving Gase out to dry, except Gase is proving that he doesn't deserve the opportunity to get anything else at this point. So
it looks like either Joe Douglas is leaving Adam Gase and Sam Darnold out to dry, or he's just leaving Sam Darnold to die. Because he lied. You can't trust anybody in that organization. That's why ultimately his situation was shitty. You can't trust anybody in there. When Joe Douglas tells me he didn't offer Jamal a contract, I don't even believe him anymore. I don't believe him anymore.
Well, I think Jamal said's coming true now.
It's coming true. So I don't believe anything he says. Until I see some fucking change, he's John Izek 2.0. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care.
He's
John Izek 2.0. That's all he got.
The funny part about it is nothing's changed though. It's the same product, just a different GM and different head coach. I mean, it's what this team does, man. It gets everyone feeling like, it's a glimmer of hope somewhere. Sam was our glimmer of hope, and that's dwindling away. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we have. When you have a product this bad or your team is this bad, man, it's just ugly, bro. It's no fixing this, man. Like, you got to fire this dude. You can't go in the season with him as your coach and expect this shit to work. It's just not.
Like, it's terrible because if you're signing guys for 1 year deals, if you're signing these Band-Aid players for 1 year deals, why not take a chance on a star player for 1 year if you're going to do that dumb shit? You could have got Clowney if he wanted to come. You could have got something. I don't even care about Clowney. Fuck Clowney. Get a offensive player. Get Robinson. Get Odell. If you don't like how it goes, get rid of him. Because you got to help your quarterback. You got to help the young guy. He's 23 years old. If you don't believe in him, then get rid of him. Don't sit there and ruin his confidence and shit. You're ruining his confidence by him seeing fucking Josh Malone out there as his fucking receiver. Like, get somebody. Get somebody.
How can you not believe in him when you haven't given him enough talent to see what he can really do?
That's what I'm saying. And that's why I feel like Joe Douglas, like I said, I've been saying this for the whole entire year. I said he's leaving Sam Darnold out the draft so he can get rid of his ass and Adam Gase is going to stay here. Only way Adam Gase could get the hell out of here is if he really go 0-16 this year. And I don't think that's happening. We might squeeze out one game.
Dude, Shaq, there are a couple bad losses away because they're already facing a crazy amount of scrutiny. It's only going to get worse. They lose. I expect them to lose on Sunday to the Colts. They lose that Broncos game, man. That's lights out for this coach. There's no way. They can't handle it. The wheels are falling off. There's so much shit surrounding this team right now. There's no way he can survive this. It's impossible. Just a matter of time when Chris Johnson wakes up.
I'd like to think so, but losing to 2 winless teams in November last year, I mean, wouldn't that have been worse? Wouldn't that have been the time to do it? But prime time, when that was going on, you had all the members of the media supporting him because they helped him out with Connor Hughes and Brian Costello and continuity too early, too soon. Everybody is turning against them now. Everybody. Prominent names all across the sports in the NFL. No, that's fair.
John Izzik, I meant Joe Douglas. Right now, he's on my hot list too. I know he's going to be here for a while. I'm gonna give him a chance, but he's still John Izzik for now because that's pure blatant right there. That you knew that we didn't have no talent. You saw it last year. We was getting our ass kicked by winless teams. What Primetime just said. Like, why you couldn't just help Sam? I don't think he cares about Sam. I think he's getting Sam out of here. We're using those 2 first-round picks on a fucking quarterback, and I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to say off with his head. Joe Douglas's head is mine if he does that shit. He does that shit, I'm going to lose it because you traded our best player. As a matter of fact, you traded him knowing you wasn't going to pay him. So even though Marcus May was getting his ass kicked too this week, if he plays good this week and Sam Darnold and if they decide to keep Sam Darnold, question is, are we going to pay those guys? Are we going to pay Marcus May? Are we going to pay Marcus May?
Good question.
Who knows, dude?
Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand. Like, when Jets have top talent, I'm scared for Becton to play good because I'm afraid he won't even get paid the way this shit going. I want Becton to play shitty until he gets paid. Like a cheap contract.
Jack, thanks for calling, man.
This is where it's going.
We appreciate
it. Good night, Shaq.
Yes, sir, man. Love you guys.
You always motivate me, Shaq. Love you, baby.
This show is complete chaos tonight. We're going to go out to Colorado. James in Colorado. What's up, man?
What's up, how are you
doing? We're surviving, man. How you doing?
It's going. Jets,
you sound depressed.
I don't know. They're terrible. I mean, I'm also a Mets fan, so that doesn't help. Except we're
same, dude. We take it year-round, man.
I mean, those receivers, they were terrible. Those were like I said. I was like, the receivers we had on Sunday. We got down to 2 receivers that could even suit up. I was like, those are the worst I've ever seen, like ever. Like for Josh Malone and Braxton Berrios. Gase needs to go. But I mean, who are we gonna? We need to get somebody in here that's gonna know what they're doing. I don't know if we want to go after Bieniemy. I don't know who you guys would want as the coach.
Yeah, I mean, you got to bring in a proven, powerful, prominent person that has a legitimate plan, that has instant accountability, instant respect, instant credibility. That's the only way you turn this thing around. You can't bring in a clown. You can't bring in somebody weak-minded. You got to bring in somebody that has all their shit together and that the players will instantly respect and follow. That's it. That's all you can do. And you got to spend money. You can't be
after they hired Gase. Listen, you could have hired Eric.
I mean,
Tyrone. In all fairness, you now have a front office that's been completely revamped with very quality NFL guys, where they have to. You got to keep in mind Joe Douglas. But Joe Douglas came here with a 6-year contract, and he had all kinds of things put into his contract for him to sign here. Because initially he didn't want to come here, man. He was like, you know what? And then they had to pay him more money, give him more assurances, hire more guys, pay his staff more. You know he got written into that contract that he has to say the next coach. You know he did. He's not a stupid guy. He's smart. So I do have faith in Joe Douglas and his team being a part of the coach search process. I do. I'm not going to lie. I do.
I think the offense might be a little better once Mims finally plays and Perryman comes back, Crowder comes back. They might be able to.
Herman didn't do shit so far.
Pass. If they but maybe if they have everybody and they throw the ball past the line of scrimmage,
well,
then
it's not the receivers that's the
they'll be able
problem,
to
though.
maybe they could have
It's the scheme. The scheme
yeah,
is the
that's what I'm
problem.
saying.
They're not going.
He doesn't
They're not
throw
going
the ball down the field.
Exactly. They're not going vertical. I mean, this is why we can't win. I mean, your game plan is coaches for dummies. 101.
And he doesn't let him call audible. It sounds like he doesn't trust them. Sounds like he doesn't trust them or something.
You know how funny that is? You know how funny that is? Adam Gase don't trust Sam Darnold to make good decisions. That's just comical, bro. That's the line of the night right there.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, man. It's just wild. Thanks for calling in, James. We appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me.
Good night, bro.
All right, we're gonna go to. I think I'm gonna screw up the name. I'm gonna try it anyway. Saeed, I think, and that was Syed. I probably screwed it up.
Hey, how's it going,
What's
guys?
up, man? Hey there, man.
Hello, bro.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about Adam Gase. I feel like I've gotten a good idea of why he is the way he is. He seems to me a bit like a football nerd, and by that I mean that he came into the league as like this young, innovative coach, and he's developed the system. And I think since then he's made it his career purpose to just try and implement his system no matter what, even if it means forcing Sam to be a pocket passer and not adjusting. It's kind of like let's say if you're a computer programmer like I am, and if I make a program and I think it's really great, but then if my coworkers come and point out flaws in it, it really pisses me off, for example. I think that's why you see him in these conferences and blaming the players, throwing other on the bus, because he's so obsessed with his own system that he doesn't want any kind of doubt or criticism to come to it. It's everyone else that's the problem. And that's why, you're seeing Sam regressing because he isn't allowed to play his style. He has to contort to Adam Gase's style, which is stay in the pocket, very little movement. I mean, look at Sam and USC. Like, we're talking about, how great Patrick Mahomes is. It's not like we don't have to look far to find a quarterback like him on the Jets, because Sam can do a lot of the things in terms of moving around, making crazy throws, but we aren't seeing a lot of that. We aren't seeing him running, rushing the ball, and it's so frustrating that Gase, because he's so obsessed with just trying to implement his own system no matter what, which is why he doesn't care about the defense or team morale or anything like that. He's just kind of like this nerd that's this whole job is just focused on his clipboard, making sure that his system is implemented, whether it works or not. And I feel like that's all he came into the league for, just to make sure that his system was implemented.
That's a fair point, man. You could see he's a very arrogant play caller. He's stubborn, and he kind of stays in his ways. He doesn't adjust. He doesn't adapt. When he doesn't handle adversity. That's why he has so many blowout losses, because he quits. When his system doesn't work, his play calls don't work, he quits. You see it in every game they start getting blown out. He just kind of mails it in. He doesn't do anything. He's got a loser mindset. It's like, it doesn't go his way, it's the highway. That's it. Like, he's done. Take his ball and go home. And unfortunately, the ball, you're losing while he's doing that. So you're completely right, man. I could not agree with you more.
What kind of offense genius quits?
And
what kind of offense genius quits in the middle when you're down? That's crazy.
He came into, I think he took this offensive genius label to himself and thinks, well, my system is great. But a real genius is not someone who has a great system. A real genius is someone who can adapt, right? Who can make adjustments, because you can have the greatest system ever, but it's going to be outdated in a few years' time, right? And it feels like Adam Gase's system may have been great in 2012, but it's not great now. It's not working now, right? And
But this happens in game, though. But you got to listen. A quality play caller makes in-game adjustments. Like, listen, we were supposed to run the ball. They're now stopping it. Now we got to change. Like, you got to change on the fly. That's how you win. Like, or halftime adjustments. Or you got to recognize things and figure it out and make that change. You can't be stubborn and keep going back to it. And that's just the problem. Thanks for calling in, man. We really appreciate it.
Just one last thing. It's just really frustrating to see players like Van Jefferson and Brandon Ayuk and CeeDee Lamb basically every single wide receiver that was drafted make plays these last 2 weeks, and our wide receiver is at home with broken hamstrings. It was just really annoying and frustrating.
Bro, I feel your pain. Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Have a good night, bro.
Dude, these calls have been awesome. We're going to go to Rocky in New Jersey. What's up, Rocky? Yo, Rocky. And Rocky is gone. We're going to – I tried, man. We ain't got no time to wait here, man. We got 2 people on hold. We're going to go to our good friend Brandon in San Francisco. What's up, Brandon?
Hey. What's up, guys? Awesome show as usual. You guys have helped me get through this COVID period, and fuck the Jets. It's unbelievable. Like, they're so bad. I can't. I honestly, like, I can't even take them in the survivor pool. I was gonna take the Colts this coming week, but I feel like the Jets will screw me that way. They'll go and win just to spite me. It's that bad. It is that freaking bad. Honestly, I've been trolling you guys on Twitter. My apologies. I can't take it anymore. Like, they've defeated me. I'm out. There's got to be some kind of like Illuminati shit going on. I can't piece it together. Like, did Sam Darnold, like, did he give mono to like Woody Johnson's daughter or something? Like, they draft Morgan in the 4th round. I mean, it's like, what the fuck is going on here? It's unbelievable. Right? Like, they hate this kid. They really don't want to see him succeed. They take Morgan in the 4th round. They take Zanika. He can't even get on the field. You don't think we could have used Brian Edwards, out of for the Raiders, or Zach Moss? You don't think they would look good in our depleted lineup? Like, what are we doing? And Joe Douglas, there's no free pass here. And I just want to remind all the listeners, and you guys know this, like, when he signed up to be our GM, it kind of reminded me of Phil Jackson going to the Knicks. Like, he did not want this job. They had to beg him to take the job. They had to overpay him and give him 6 years. I think he's just sticking it to the organization. It's like, fuck you guys, you're paying me.
Hey, but the one thing about it is, the good thing about it is that he took the job. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at the end of the day, man, this marriage between him and Adam Gase is going to come to an end. You don't have a choice. I mean, you have a fan base that's really frustrated. You have players that are getting frustrated. You're going to lose the whole organization like that. It's just the owner opens his fucking mouth when he should just shut up, man, and just understand that, man. Like, why are you talking? Like, you're not a football guy. You don't know what's going on. You got players out here that are really good. You have a franchise quarterback, something you haven't given this franchise in 40 years. And what do? You alienate him and have this kid playing on Eagles, man. And this is the guy you hired. So it's going to get better. It's going to get worse before it gets better, though. So understand that it's going to be a shitty season, man. And we might be the first pick of the draft. I mean, it's what it seems like to me.
Yeah, it's going to be a shitty season, but they're ruining Sam Darnold, our 23-year-old guy. We gave up a lot for him, too. Let's not forget, like, we gave up a bunch to get Sam. I mean, and your tie always goes back, and you talked about the Clyde Gates years. Let me just review this 2013 receiving corps and tell me what you think. Salim Hakeem, David Nelson, Jeff Cumberland, Stephen Hill, Clyde Gates, Jeff Salas, like Greg Salas. Like, those guys would sound pretty good right now, wouldn't they?
Oh, that's terrible, man. This is just some
like, that would
shit.
be a pretty good stable.
Oh, my God. Brandon, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Keep it
Have
up.
a good night.
Oh, it's some funny shit right there. We're going to go to Chris in Flemington. Chris, what's up, man?
Nothing but just sad, same old Jets news, man. That's about it.
I mean, this is as bad as it gets right here. This doesn't get much worse than this.
I mean, it just, it was said a couple callers ago, just at what point does our owner, who has absolutely no brain, draw the line and say, hey, maybe Adam Gase is not brilliant. Maybe he's doing the same exact thing that he did in Miami. Maybe his team is quitting on him, not putting any of his players, highlighting Sam Darnold in a position to succeed with, minimal resources thanks to Joe Douglas. It's just this whole clusterfuck, is just so pathetic to me. It's just so, and honest to God, the Jets, the path they're going down right now, they're going to be the next Browns. The team that can't figure it out, the team that is just getting dragged through the mud year in and year out. And change has to happen as fast as possible because, like Sam's confidence, there's no way it holds up. You're already seeing now his regression. You already see him second-guessing himself. It's just such a mess in that entire organization. that you could pinpoint 17 different things, and it would just all be – it's just a catastrophe.
Well said, man. I got no comment. I mean, I completely agree with you. I mean, Tyron, what do you think? I mean, this team, it's just there's no identity. There's no glimmer of hope. Like, we don't know what the fuck's going to – like, you just want this guy out of here. That's your true rebuild. Your rebuild is getting this guy out of here. That's when you start rebuilding.
The bad part is, man, everyone been clamoring for a franchise quarterback. We get one and we ruin them. I mean, it's just, right? It's the story of us, man. It's just crazy, man, that we're having this conversation about Sam Darnold, and we're talking about week 2, and we're worrying about the second pick of the draft, or first pick of the draft. I mean, it's crazy, man. It sucks, bro. It sucks all the way around.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, it's bottom line is either, I mean, no matter what, Joe Douglas needs to find a way to make Sam Darnold more comfortable. I mean, I'm not saying Adam Gase. I mean, Adam Gase should have been fired friggin' yesterday. I mean, hopefully they're checking the media because everyone's calling for his head. So if our owner knows how to do anything, he should freaking cut him, get him out of the building. But that's the next thing. Who's the next man up? We can't have another shitty exchange into another coach who just does nothing and is just complacent and does not help this team. Adam Gase was the biggest step backwards, and now we're in a hole. And whether it's dude from the Chiefs, the enemy, whether it's any distinguished coach that has an idea of how the game of football should be played, we need to put someone who can take this roster, this young quarterback in Sam Darnold, who has shown great signs of being that guy. They need to surround him with the supporting cast that is capable of winning football games on Sunday. And if you look at what they have, I mean, one of the worst rosters in the NFL by far. It's very saddening. And that's not to mention the team's quitting on itself, which just makes it so much harder to watch. It sucks when the first play of the game on Sunday, you go on, a little bit of optimism. Hey, who knows? Maybe they'll cover the spread. And, hey, Monster is running 75 yards down the sideline. You're already looking down at your feet thinking, what the hell am I into? It's honestly disgusting, man. It's tough to freaking hold up.
Chris, thanks for calling, man. We definitely appreciate it.
Have a night, Chris. First play of the game.
Yeah, right.
Have a good one, bro.
All right, we're going to go. His show's been off the chains. Now we're going to go to Brandon in Phoenix. Brandon, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing?
Doing good.
This has been a doozy tonight, man.
Yeah. Hey, man, I got to tell you this, man. Jets fans, this is going to be okay. We're going to come out on the end of this looking good. This is the rebuild that we should have had a couple of years ago when we took Jamal instead of taking Deshaun Watson. And I've got the faith that Joe Douglas is going to do this the right way. And I think that what we're seeing this year is what we really got to hope is that we don't screw this up and win the last 2 or 3 games for no reason out of nowhere. And I know that's not what you guys want to hear, but it's the truth, and it's the best thing for us, regardless of if we stick with Sam or we get blessed and we get Lawrence.
So you want
Can I just ask? Well, I just want to ask real quick, like, what is the sense in starting a rebuild when you have your quarterback for 3 more years under his rookie contract? Isn't that the time when you get aggressive and try to surround him with talent and figure out, okay, do we have the guy to move forward with for the next 10 to 15 years who deserves a second contract? That starting a rebuild now, I feel like, is the worst time to do it.
Well, I agree with you, Prime. I agree with you. And you know what? But these are the cards we're dealt. We let McCagnon have that last draft, and that's where ownership screwed us. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but the reality of the situation is that there's no talent on this team. I mean, you guys say it all the time. I've been listening to you guys, and when you watch the Jets and then you go watch your team like the Chiefs or, damn near half the rest of the league, it looks like we're a AA baseball team. I mean, we just don't have any talent. That's just the fact of the matter. I think Gase is terrible too, but we don't have any talent. And that's what the facts are, guys.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that to an extent, yet guys that were in the building last year are performing now on teams that are doing very well. Jamal Adams, Robbie Anderson, he's looking like a number 1 wideout, and I wouldn't even say that last year. I thought his ceiling was a number 2. He's had 200-yard games already with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback. So, I mean, these are guys that we let out of the building that were talented players.
You know what? You're right about that. I agree with you. But the second that we let Jamal go, okay, which I disagreed with. I wanted to keep Jamal. But once we let Jamal go, once Jamal decided that he wanted to leave and we weren't going to have him anymore, then the rebuild basically ensued from there. And the Robbie Anderson thing, I'm not going to front. I was somebody who was like, a hard line on Robbie. I don't think Robbie's really that type of guy. I think he's doing well in Carolina. We'll see if it keeps up. It's only been 2 weeks, okay? What we always needed from Robbie was more consistency, and we knew he wasn't a number one. He was a quality number two. And So I still think that I'm not going to say we made the right decision as far as Robbie goes, but I understand why Joe Douglas took the stance he took.
No, listen,
pardon your wisdom. You just said. Go ahead, Tom.
No, go ahead.
No, well, I just want to say pardon your wisdom, but you just said that that Robbie was a number two, right? But at the same time, man, we don't have a number. We don't even have a good number three on the team right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is how deprived this team is. So being able to build, I mean, like this is what scares me. This is if we're looking at another rebuild. Ain't this the continuation of the last two rebuilds? That's what scares me more than anything. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Prompton. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say, like, I don't think it's necessarily wrong that Joe Douglas wants to do it his way and to do a genuine rebuild. He's already got 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. I just don't think sacrificing Sam Darnold is the right way to do it. And what we've given him this year to work with is so wrong.
But this is the thing, Prime. The only reason I say that we would sacrifice Sam is because if we hit that jackpot that we missed out when we missed on Luck and when Peyton Manning decided to go back, and if Trevor Lawrence decides that it's okay, that he will actually play for the New York Jets, we have to cash in that ticket. I'm sorry. Sam Darnold has never done anything.
That was supposed to be Sam.
But no.
He was number one on like 30 of 32 general managers' draft boards. Francesa was calling him the next Andrew Luck. Everyone thought he was.
Come on now.
And this was considered a top quarterback draft class. Allen's playing well. Lamar Jackson already won an MVP, and Sam was considered the cream of the crop of this class coming out. Yes, he was. The Browns were the only one that wanted Baker.
Prime.
I'm
going to ask you this.
Bro. That's crazy.
What quarterback? Go all the way back to Luck. What number one pick at quarterback would you take? Would you take Sam Darnold over? Would you take Sam Darnold over Cam? No. Would you take Sam Darnold over Luck? No. Would you take Sam Darnold over Burrow? No. Would you take Sam Burrow?
How can we make that evaluation right now? I can't make that evaluation right now.
I'm asking you as a prospect. I'm not what he's done in the league so far. I'm just talking about as a prospect.
Absolutely. As a prospect, I liked him more than Cam. I liked him more than Burrow coming out this year. Absolutely, I did. And I think we saw
I disagree with that. Sam Darnold was never that good.
Of what he could do at the end of his rookie season, and we've seen him regress since Adam Gase has been here.
But Prime, what did Sam Darnold ever do at USC to say that he's better and he's a more effective football player than Cam Newton? You tell me. He's never done anything.
Everything about the way he moves in the pocket to me was the biggest thing because he has that Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes like X factor where he could do things that I don't think that 5 quarterbacks can do.
No, he don't. He don't have Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes type X factor. If he did, we would look different on Sundays. I'm sorry.
Look at what he's working with and look at who's calling the plays.
He's not that level of prospect.
How do you make that judgment though at age 23 with what we've given him? How can we make that judgment right now?
I'm just telling you what I saw in college. I'm not even going off the pros right now because I agree with you. We have done him a disservice. I'm not somebody who's saying Sam Darnold is trash. I'm just telling you that if you have a chance to get if you got a chance to get a once in a decade type prospect, which Sam Darnold is not a once in a decade type prospect. I'm sorry, he's just not. There's nothing that Sam Darnold ever did at USC that you can tell me that he was better than Cam Newton, Andrew Luck. You couldn't tell me he was better than RG3 coming out of college. I'm sorry. He was not that good. He just wasn't. I mean, if you look at Minshew right now, Minshew's playing better than him right now. And Minshew don't got nothing to work with. And facts are facts, Minshew was balling when he was at Washington State. He was just short, and he played at Washington State.
When Adam Gase is calling
Brandon.
your plays and he's calling checkdowns at the line of scrimmage on 3rd and longs, I mean, there's only so much this kid could do right now. So, good debate, but I respectfully disagree with a lot of it.
Okay. But I'm just saying, well, would you really take? I just don't see you passing up on that type of quarterback. And this is why the Cardinals made a great move when they got rid of Rosen and they picked Kyler, because Kyler was a real special talent, and they could see it. Now, I think that Kyler might have not worked on a lot of other teams, but, hats off to them. Cliff came through, and he told them, like, no, this guy is the truth. And you can't tell me that Kyler was not a better quarterback in college than Sam Darnold.
Prime time, your last word?
I mean, listen.
Can you say that, Brian? Can you say that?
We did shows every week before the draft, and I repeatedly said this isn't second guessing or anything. I had Sam Darnold as my top quarterback over the last probably 5 to 6 years when he was coming out, and this was before the Jets even had a chance to draft him. I wrote articles on him when the Jets were at pick 6, not even thinking we had a chance to draft Sam Darnold. So that's how high I was on him. And I'll admit, some things, some areas, yes, he does not look good, but I still think with Adam Gase calling the plays, with receivers he's working with, we just have not truly given this kid a chance. And we've seen it in flashes, but if you want to see it consistently, get him a Kingsbury-type coach. Get him a coach that's going to cater his system to what he does well. Let him do some RPOs. Let him throw the ball on the run. Let him work up-tempo where he's not thinking so much, and let him play and react. That's what he does so well, and we haven't given him a chance to do that.
Once again, Prime, I agree with you on what you said right there, but what I'm saying is this, is that if we do get the chance to cash in the Lawrence ticket, Sam Darnold is not the type of person that holds up that train, okay? He's just not that type of guy. Now, I'm going to say one last thing. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Get your last thing in. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, now, if we do somehow screw this up and we get the number 2 or the number 3 pick, would you guys want to take the other tackle from Oregon? The tackle from Oregon?
Yeah, Brandon, we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do draft stuff now, man. We're
still trying to. Okay. That's where we're at, man. That's
week 3, man. Come on, man. Week 3. Jesus Christ.
Week 3.
Shout out to Quinnen. Quinnen played his best game. Quinnen played his best game of his career. So I want to give him props.
That's what we can agree on.
All right, man.
And on a good note. Good talking to you, man.
All right. Unfortunately, we are wrapping this show up. We only do 2-hour shows now on Tuesday, just due to a variety of different things. We are live on YouTube all the time. Let's Talk Jets Radio on YouTube, at Talk Jets Radio, Instagram and Twitter. Tyrone, your last words.
My last words is this. Regardless of how bad the product we put out, I'm still going to be a Jet fan, man, until I leave this earth. Love you guys, man. It is what it is.
Prime time, your last words.
I'm so sick of the Trevor Lawrence talk already, to be honest. What evidence do we have that we would develop this kid the right way and not do what we're doing right now to Sam? If that opportunity presents itself, trade the pick, surround Sam with talent. Other than that, just a legitimate thank you to all the callers that have called in, as well as to everybody that's been subscribing and commenting on YouTube. It's been overwhelming. Apologies to anyone that we couldn't get on tonight. We're going to get through all this together, and the calls were just fire tonight. You guys brought it. Awesome show.
Yeah, we apologize to everybody we couldn't get on. A lot of people we didn't get on. We apologize. We try to let everybody have their say and have some fun debate and everything else. Check us out on YouTube. And like Kevin said, we appreciate all the support. This has been pretty surreal. I can't even believe it. So thank you, guys. Hang in there. Hopefully the clown is fired tomorrow. We have something positive to talk about. See you guys later.
Have a good night.
Later, fellas.
Later.